Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you all, wherever you are joining me today. Welcome to the 27th edition of Investdata Trading Academy Live with Ambrose again. And as usual, before I go into looking at what is happening in the market globally, I want to also remind you that the market is volatile, and when market is volatile, there's high risk in the market. Then you don't need to play with your stop loss, your investment goal, and your entry and your exit strategy to be at your fingertip at all times, especially in this season that we are seeing the last 3 weeks. We are seeing what has happened in the market. And before we go to looking at our chart, let's take some little intro or education about how to invest in this volatile market. Like I just said last week, I show you how to use the pullback strategy, the pullback strategy, how to use it in this volatile market. But today we're going to look at also this one. We look at the what we call, either we call it an index cycle or change in trend or change in index movement. We want to look at it, how we are going to spot it as a trader using your live chart or your end of the day chart. We want to also look at it this morning. As we trade in these volatile markets right now, that is that oil prices as of pull back again. And you see, when oil price pull back, you can see that market tend to respond positively. So market in the international market also close positive. But this pullback was on the continuous ceasefire talks, in Russia and the Ukraine war. Some leaders in the EU and others are meeting to make sure that peace reign and the broker peace, which is good. But this pullback is creating opportunity for traders and investors to position in stocks that has what upside potential to rally, especially in our market here in Nigeria that we are still in the peak of our earnings season, because we have the ultimate deadline to be 31st of this March for those accounts that has the December as year end. Then those that have March, we'll see them as from April, their unaudited account. Then we will see also the first quarter account. That's why I said the month of April, the month of July, and the month of October, these are pre-earning season that you also can really take advantage of this months, because that is, but some also that are different months, like those that have March, and also those that has April or June, July or June or July for their end of the year. You need to also balance all this. This is why this period now, this pullback I've seen the market for 2 days. We saw market pulling back on Monday. Yesterday was experiencing that pullback. This pullback is to create opportunity for what? For traders to take advantage in those stock that has no potential to rally, especially when they come down like this. That people are trying to reposition their portfolio, seeing the inflation or consumer price index data for what for the month of February. There will be possible reshuffling, especially those in the fixed income market. They know what this uptick in inflation for the month of February, what it means to those in that fixed income investment, what it means to their investment, because we have seen other factors around the world that are going to also suggest that we're going to see this continued rise in inflation, for either the next 2 months or 3 months, depend, because we have seen that the high cost of energy in Nigeria has impacted the price of goods and services. At the same time, we are seeing that what is happening in Europe also, in East Europe, Russia and Ukraine has impacted the cost of lot of imported material for those manufacturing sector, wheat, and others, maize and others. Can see that means the price of staple food in Nigeria, especially bread, also will be on increase. That's going to influence the prices of goods, and that going to also influence the return of those in fixed income instruments. Because if we are seeing inflation rally, and I don't see the MPC meeting members in their first meeting since this Ukraine Russia issue started, adjusting rate immediately. No, they need also to understand it to see how this go to influence our economic recovery. That's why also as a trader investor, we need to look at what is happening around, because when there is no inflation, those the physical market they struggle. But now we are seeing in a sign that they're going to go up. Price of goods and services are likely to to spike up going to the future. But see them have also what we call circular flow of income or fund moving from fixed deposit to. Especially if you look at the last week, for this week I've not seen information about any tradable option. Last week we saw that the long term window for TP declined marginally, and also we saw the over subscription there. But see, now that we see inflation picking up for almost two months now, gradually, I see that those in that window will also start rethinking and form might likely also start moving away. And you know that this is the peak of earnings season, which is going to be extended till end of April. They might start to come and take advantage of the high dividend yields as people as these companies are declaring, knowing that as from next week we'll be seeing markdown qualification dates for companies. That will also change the face of the market as we speak. For me, the pullback we saw for the last 2 days, which are changed the structure, we are going to discuss again in today's class. I've not sent any panic, but rather it's for you to take advantage of it and see how you can position your portfolio with that pullback ahead of people interpreting traders or investors, market players interpreting the data was released yesterday about inflation ahead of what MPC meeting next week, Monday and Tuesday. By allowing price action or trade or index action to tell you what to do during a volatile market, what to do, because you need to know what to do. And it is this price action or index action will tell you the volatile market is going to do, what the volatile market is going to do next, what the next move to the market. It is when you understand the price action or index action using your form of candlestick, you're able to interpret what next will come up. That is why it's very good to understand technical analysis in order to avoid being trapped in any trade or position. That is why you need to understand how to use this chart. But before we go to the chart now to discuss the chart, I've just to give you, the scenario of the inflation, what it's likely to be. But I tell you that this inflation is going to influence the market positively, because fund might also start living, as I said earlier, in fixed income to equity market, knowing that we're at the peak of any season. These are for that. But let's look at the state of the market now before we go to look at this strategy, how to look at what we call price cycle, understanding price cycle or trend change. You want to understand this price cycle or index cycle or price change. All of them are together, they're the same, so that you get out to know whether the trend has changed. Our T line is very, very important and very strong. You also able to look at them. Where is T line? Where is the structure of the price or the structure of the index? Then give me a sign that market is going to go up or down. What the trend of the general market? These are the things we'll be looking at after this, using the chart to discuss it. But before we go to the chart, the state of the market as we speak. I told you earlier, this market as we speak now, this is almost the midday trading. Expecting those afternoon traders to start coming in. But as we speak, market is green. It's in green. After it has oscillated between the hour of market open 10 o'clock to this hour, market has been red and green. But this hour now is in green, and we'll see some stuff that are also supporting the market, despite the relative divergence between the market breadth and the index direction. As we speak now, the market is in green. Why the market breadth is still negative at this hour? Because why I say it's negative, because we're having 11 losers as we speak and 7 gainers as we speak. But the market is good because we see the life of MTN, life of Senate Bank, and others trying to gain this morning. That is why you can see, despite we have 11 gainers and 11 losers and 7 gainers, we're seeing the market in green and the breadth is negative. As we speak now, out of the 11 losers, we have the livestock topping the chart, followed by UPDC, Mutual Benefit Assurance, the Veterans Capital Assurance, and what FTN Cocoa are the top losers among the 11 losers as we speak now. While in the gainers chart, I said earlier that we have 7 gainers in general in the market at this hour. Then the top gainers now are ICO topping, followed by NEM Insurance, Honeywell, Flower, ETI, and UBA. These are the top gainers as we speak. And then in this top gainers, because also we saw MTN among the gainers. MTN lost yesterday, but today it's trying to look up Zenith Bank in that direction as we speak at this hour. For the top trades in terms of volume, which is very, very important, volume gives you an insight what you should look at in the market. We're saying that in terms of volume, we have ETI topping the list of top trade this hour. ETI followed by UBA, UPDC, and the Transcorp, and the last one there is a livestock. These are the ones that are topping the list as we speak now. I see that the market is still mixed. We are seeing the marginal up market while the market breadth is negative, but we can see that the financial sectors like topping the activist chart. You can see ETI with good volume and also with UBA. At this moment, as market go further into the day, we'll see what's playing out. For people who want to go to our chart, it's very, very important to us. Our chart is very, very important. We want to do some things this morning. You can see that now, if you look at this red line, like I always tell you, you can see that here, you saw that the market is just ticking up here. You can see it just looking up marginally, but we want to go turn it to candlestick for for clear understanding. But because we want to understand, how to read this what I call price cycle or index cycle, or or change in trend, that is very important. We want to look at this chart now before. Okay, let me call the trend line, because we want to look at that trend line first. Let me call the trend line up now at this hour, and so that we can see the trend line. I want to bring the T line, sorry, T line. Bring the T line up now for any other one, so that I want to explain something to you. This is T line. T line is blue. It's in blue. Let me leave it in because I now put the other one up. T line is in blue at this hour. But here we want to look at what is happening in the market from here, so that we can see it very boldly from here to this point. Yeah, you can see now. You can see the market from here. This is the biggest candlestick we have seen over around February 7th to date. You can see how the market has performed. You can see the oscillation. That means market has remained in this trend from here to here. We'll call it consolidation movement, a 30-second down, 30-second down, and all these markets have not broken down the 47,000 index, which you can see. But the good thing is that I'm coming here to teach you this what we call trend change or price cycle change. You can see this place here. That's why I'm coming. I have to make it good for you to see. You see that the market was up, for three days. You can see the green candles here leading up. See, the market touch here, it closed up. Here it was almost a full candle, but here you can see there is a week here. It's also a week here. This week at this point now, I give you insight that market is trying to resist, decline here. But here, that is on Monday. You see the pattern market, form here. Here, market, was touched down, came up, but it is not settled at this way. This is also a signal. When you see the signal in an uptrend, it's also a sign of what, a reversal. To see this kind of trend also in a downtrend, it's also what we call a bullish reversal. This is a bearish reversal, but a bullish reversal. We see it down here. When we see it like similar thing here, you can see it here. See what happened. This is how to look at this candlestick. You can look at it here. When you saw it here again, you can see what happened before the market. But good is that you see a sign of price change here. But the next day, you see that there's a confirmation. That is what we call trend change. But as we speak this morning, this is the trend thing that yesterday, today, there was sign of panic already, or people that are afraid that the market is going to go fine, because the candlestick have given you sign. But that is why confirmation is very, very important. But the good is that after the market have crossed up the T line, this is the T line, a T line here, the blue line. But even when market closed down negative yesterday, it didn't cross down the blue line. This morning you can see that the market has opened in the green lane on top of the blue line. This one will give you kind of comfort, kind of assurance that you should not panic in the market. That's why I said let me bring it so that you can get the full picture. Once it crossed the T line here down, here you can see what happened here. Market was up here, it pulled back here, it pulled back, but immediately it crossed the sign for panicking. You can see that it was under the T line for 3 days before what? Before it break out. Immediately it break out across here, you can buy here and sell also here when you saw this signal. But for me, I want to make it clear that not of every signal you see you start running, but it's good to know when there's a change in trend, a change in cycle, so that you know exactly what to do. But as to speak now, you can see that the market at this moment now, the market is still very strong, because it's still trading above the T line. If market is trading above the T line, you don't need to panic at all. You see that there's a change what we call index action, or things of what a circle, but still the market remain above the T line. This will give you kind of say, hey guys, hold on, don't panic yet, market is up. And also don't forget that in our market here, as I said earlier, we are seeing any season, and now we are seeing like market trying to rebound this morning. You can see it here, they have not gone below it on top, and also trying to have a green candle here, which you can see with your eyes yourself on this chart. For me, this gives us a clear direction what is happening in the market. That means you don't need to panic at all, but rather watch your position and also look at the next action. That's why as a trader, you always watch your candlestick, or I mean it, your candlestick. You need to know. That's why if you want to manage volatility, you won't play with your price action, because your price action or your index action will tell you exactly where the market is going. And that is why I say anytime, even when we are using your stop loss and all, you must look at what is the price action or index action doing, because that follow the pattern, like I said, the psychology and the sentiment in the market. Yesterday, you can see that market, we can see this candlestick after market have lost 0.02. It was almost 0.19, 0.20. Let me then this morning you can see that it's coming up. Even this morning, I struggled from at the open of the market up and down before this hour. You are seeing the market coming into what? Into the green, green line, which is good. Don't need to panic as more results come. And I see what results come if the peace talk that that kind of that initiate the ceasefire in in the war between Ukraine and Russia. If that is sustained and peace start coming, then you see that the market, the war, believe for this panic. And don't forget there's another spike, in terms of COVID-19 in in China. That also has the way of influencing the global economy, and also that sector, oil sector. You know what it is. Once the demand for Russia from China drop, the price of crude oil drop, and you can see that since the discussion of this ceasefire started, you can see that oil price has also pulled back to create opportunity for those that in that kind of sector also take position. Because I'm telling you, even when the whole issue is resolved, oil price will definitely bounce back, and we expect the sectors and all the company in that sector also to maintain a strong fundamental in terms of numbers. And because I'm telling you, they will demand for for their products, and that product and the price is high. For me, that also puts their bottom line up again. Those are in that related. Why here in Nigeria we can see what has caused us. Our inflation is uptick. Then we say when we factor in again what is happening in Russia and Ukraine, it's going to have the next 2 months looking at up even to the middle of the year. But let's watch and see, because that's why as a trader, this is time for you to take on your chart to always know what is happening, so that you won't be carried unaware. Don't know what is happening. That's why this class is coming every day for us to let know the state of the market, and also what is happening globally and also within our domestic economy. Yes, here a quick one now. Here we'll look at those stocks that top the activities chart and the gainers. We're looking at today. We want to look at what is happening in ETI. We see a spark in the volume this morning, and also what is happening in Honeywell, and at the same time what is happening in NEM Insurance. We want to look at this steady stock technically, and we know exactly what to do with these stocks if we're in that position. If not, we also learn one or two things from that. Let's quickly look at ETI. Let's quickly look at ETIs and see what is happening in ETI. Let's quickly look at ETI and see what is happening there. I know that this bank, this Pan Africa Bank, really has potential in terms of fundamentals, and also fundamental news around it. And also want to see what the chart is saying ahead of their Q1 number and ahead of their corporate action in terms of providing the details about their close period and payment date. All those also give some momentum to the stock. That's why we also need to look at what is happening in the stock as we speak now. And as a trader, you need to know exactly what is happening for investor. Once you're able to get the real picture here, you know exactly what is happening. Here, I want to call our indicators here up here. You can see Vinegar Band, call our MACD, money flow, and our T line. Our T line here is 8. T line here is 8. You can see if you look at all the indicators, I tell you are positive for ETI. You can see these indicators here. If you come down here and see money flow, you can see fund in ETI on a day. But let's look at 1 hour chart. What we're going to see there in 1 hour chart. On 1 hour chart, we can see that it's still very, very bullish on 1 hour chart. For me, it's a good one for ETI. That means if you are lucky, you are in ETI, fine. If you want to jump into ETI, nothing stop you from jumping it. It's a stock that I've thought at 10 naira, 10 kobo. The possibility that it's going to break out when the results come in Q1 is possible, especially depending on the strength of the numbers they release. But that will also give an indication what you expect in their in the current financial year 2022. Then that also should guide you. And when there is momentum like this, positive technicals, positive for fundamental, you speak volume for the stock. And that is what happened in in Vitafoam, in UCAP, in in fixing. Now we're seeing similar move in the banking sector, which I see ETI presenting that, and that will go a long way. If you look at ETI, that's why I want to see all the banks Q1 will also give us position. If you look at what happened in ETI in their full year result, even the last 2021 financial year, the performance of ETI was above others, even those that are selling above the price. It's selling today. Those that are selling above 20 naira, ETI, the performance number is above those stock. On that note, if the price is above those stock, that means ETI is a stock that you should hold and then watch, because by seeing positive fundamental and the positive technicals in ETI. On that note, you need to also hold ETI. For me, that is what to do, because at this hour, as market is ongoing now, you can see that on the hour chart, ETI is very positive. It's very positive, while on a day chart, it's also very positive. It's a good sign for me for ETI. But let's quickly look at the ETI from here to here. We want to see the formation that it did here when the stock touched the 13 naira, and let's see the movement from here to today. That will give us a clearer picture of what you can see from here to here. Now you can see the formation. The stock has been on for me, it's just a trending movement. You can see it. These are around January. You can see the stock has been in this mode, up and down. Trying to look at what the stock is doing now exactly. See here, this hour at 11.95. For me, it's a good one. There's no cause for alarm. I see the money flow here looking up. The MACD has also crossed each other from bottom, and it's a good sign that here we're already. You can see the body is already a bullish MACD already for ETI. For me, it's a good one. Let's see how it goes. For me, ETI is a good stock. If you are in there, if you're not there, nothing stops you from jumping in at this hour. Let's quickly look at what is happening in Honeywell before we go to NEM. NEM might likely be the last for this hour, but let's look at what is happening in Honeywell first. Honeywell, look at this. The information behind this Honeywell. We're expecting that they are also has a match account. At the same time, don't forget that the merger, acquisition talk is still in progress, and which conclusion will come any moment from now. That will also change the face of the stock when the news enter the market again. You know that the market has said trade the charts, forget about the news, but this news will also be reflected in your chart. Or as a trader or investor, you know that there's something, either fundamental news or any other thing that can push the market. This acquisition news can push, but if you are in that stock and you see that technically it's still very, very okay, nothing stops you from holding to see the end of the day. I can see technically, the stock is not doing badly also, that you as a trader at this time you also know what to do with the stock. Yes, you can see the stock now. Let's change it to candlestick so that you can see the information. But we'll draw to get a clarity here what is happening there. Let me zoom that a place out so you can see what is happening from here. We expect to break a breakout, but now before getting to this breakout from here to the breakout, let's see what is happening here. You can see the position where the stock is now. This is where it is. You can see the candlestick formation from here to here, going up and down, oscillating up down. But now you can see that the trend is coming up here. After here, you can see what happened there, the pullback. Now today we are seeing a green candlestick here until break out this level of 4 naira, 4 naira, 390, 4 naira. Once you break it out, they will now show a new trend has come for the stock. But let's pick other indicators to also look at it and see what is happening in the stock. Let's quickly bring the Omega band at this level and money flow to it, because they are very, very important to us in this class. When you come to looking at the state of the stock, you need to know what the stock is doing, and that will help you. Yes, you can see now. You can see the blue line. This blue line is the T line. You can see that here the T line is in between the bearish and the bullish trend here. But today, you can see that the market is trading above the T line. Above the T line here, you can see it here. This is the T line, the blue line here, T line. While the red line is the 20 days moving average. For me, the stock is set to see it's about to cross the red line. Once it crosses it up here, you can see that the the what we call the histogram in MACD to the up direction, and see it. Once it cross again, become a bullish one, indeed. And money flow, I've given you a sign here. You can see it here. Yes, money flow is almost around 40, around 50. I mean 47, 45, 47. Once it cross 50, there's a fund really entering the stock for good, and that is how to really know that this stock is strong now. Then look at the name finally before we draw the fortune for today. Look at what is happening in name. Name is an insurance sector, and don't forget that these days we are seeing insurance company dominating the beginner start even for weeks. Tells you that what is it the capitalization alone that is driving it? Is it the low price attraction? Then if those capitalization will be able to pay good dividend now that we are in any season, these are what you should look at. But if you are a good technical trader, you can enter this Kobo stock with your chart. But don't expect that volume investor will play them. But if your chart gives you a signal and you're able to identify it on time, you can equally also trade them for money, because I see potential in them for short movement. Especially if you are not greedy, targeting 15, 18%, you can get it in this short stock, because I know they are capitalizing, possibility of merger and acquisition is there, and then the minority investor in this company are positioned to take advantage of this merger acquisition. That's why we are seeing activities in this sector as we speak. Also, when you use your chart, it will give you, like I said, that chart will present everything that's happening in the market or individual stock, because chart will tell you the psychology and all that is happening in that stock as we speak. Yes, let's look at the candlestick for NEM. Yes, you can see NEM now. It's a stock that is not. It's also, what happened here. This when you see this kind of gap up, this is about a lot of their share reconstruction. That is this gap up that you saw here. But when you see also a gap up down, say that's a lot of mark down. Kind of see that that's the kind of different in up direction. When you see it in up direction, like it give you an insight of share reconstruction. The price change, and that's why you can see from here it jumped up here, it came down, kind of find a support there. But here this resistance here is gradually becoming what another support now. You can see. But we are seeing the stock looking up here marginally. Let's draw the other indicators to know exactly what is happening to it. Give us more interpretation on the price or the chart pattern or the price movement of this stock. You can see that for me, if you're insurance stock, as I said earlier, you have to be very careful. You don't need to. There's opportunity there to make money, but if you're a good chartist, you can take advantage of that. Then exactly when to enter and when to exit. Once you do that, correctly, you will be making money in this sector in and out. But don't expect that you see institutional investor coming to buy stock of 30 kobo or 30 kobo. No, because they know if they come in, they'll want to put the price up. When they go now, they want to put the price, so that they will avoid it. Yes, you can see here, if you look at your indicators and look at the price action of NEM. NEM here, yes, it's in red, but it's in green already, because they are touched 4 naira, no 20 kobo before. We can see at this price now. We are seeing it now. You can see it's like if I pull back now to 3 naira, 3 naira 94 after touching 4 naira, 21. Still coming down. Sorry, after from 4 naira 11 kobo, pull back to 3 naira to speak now. 3 naira 94. You can see the stock. But the good thing is that if you come down here, you can see your MACD is positive there. About crossing, you can see it here, positive. Then also your money flow is still looking good here, because it's a turn up already around the 42, 38, 40, around 38, 42 now, which is what looking and looking up. That's the good thing. But you need to watch. I told you that earlier that now the dividend on this new price is thought that it's selling for almost 3 naira 90 kobo or 4 naira 10 kobo. The dividend they will announce to us whether to be a plus or not. And don't forget that most of the PFAs that go for dividend stock, they look at those that have high dividend yield, and that is why they today chart as we are charting to know exactly where the stock is going. That's why most of them are not short-term traders, because they want to stock that will give them a good yield that can stay ahead of the inflation, not inflation, also ahead of what is happening in another fixed income market. That will be another week. You also look at the companies that were ranked as the best pension managers for 2021. These are most of them that do more of equity than of fixed income. You see, there's advantage in that doing equity. And now that we're seeing inflation also ticking up, it's also a sign that we have to also play with caution. For those that PFA demand, start to want to play more of equity again, where we are seeing dividend and more of the earnings are still ahead that we're expecting them between now and 31st of March. Today is just sustained. No moment from now, we already crossed the mid-month. Start seeing those numbers really in mass. When it comes, to also go to 21st. And also, if the peace talk or the peace ceasefire that is now in the war zone of between Russia and Ukraine was sustained and peace come out of it, to also slow down this volatility of fear globally, and also support economic recovery both globally and locally. Because I tell you, as high cost of all those important materials for most of the material company here, it's going to affect their bottom line. It also affect their price, because if a company numbers or earnings are not looking up, price will respond to it. And if it's looking up, price will. That is why earnings for me is very, very important. Account in any market situation, whether in a bull market or in a bear market, earnings count. And that is also, as a smart trader, you can trade the earnings season throughout the year. You can also make money, because during earnings season, you see a lot of momentum, you see a lot of volume, you see a lot of sentiment, you see a lot of inflow to the market to play that earnings season. That is why earnings season is very, very important. Yes, look forward to see you at the coming masterclass. Don't forget, today I can see about almost this morning 8 people. People are just kind of paying for it, because they know that in this coming masterclass it's not just going to be as usual. I want to tell you, because we know that between now and February 2023 we have a lot of activities because of our big election year in this part of the world. And that because of election year, there's uncertainties that comes with the election or preparing for election. All those things is I want to guide you, and kind of stuff you invest with less risk at the same time, or low risk anyway, low risk, so that you can make money and keep your portfolio in positive direction between now and that period. And you can't say because the selection you want to go and hide somewhere. No. Yes, you want to look at safe haven. I'll tell you there are some stocks and some sectors that can act as safe haven for you in a market. This will be discussed at the event. Yes, we look forward to see you. Just look at your itineraries and mark that the 2nd of April, and join all the professional experienced team. You see a large pool feed, they are listed, and most of the market players will be there for average more from TRW. No technical, no guys that also want to tell you why also your Ambrose is there at the same time, because I want to show you how to use your earnings and at the same time your chart to invest wisely. Just join us, and you will have well spent time at the end, and then your portfolio will also respond to that. As I say, at any meeting, either here, paid one, always take something out of it that will impact your portfolio at the end of the day. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your day.